Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
New revelations in the case of the Oxford High shooting.
The Oakland County prosecutor, Karen McDonald, citing late house payments, alleged extramarital affairs, and the drawings of a troubled child as reasons to keep Jennifer and James Crumbley behind bars. Good evening, everyone. We're going to start here at 6. Karen McDonald issuing a wide-ranging response this afternoon to that bail request from the parents of the accused Oxford High School shooter.
James and Jennifer Crumbley have been in the Oakland County Jail since their arrest nearly 3 weeks ago. Their attorneys say bonds should be lowered and they are not a flight risk. Well, in today's filing, prosecutor McDonald included disturbing drawings that we've heard about before but have not seen. They say these are the drawings of Ethan Crumbley that he made on a school test. Local 4 defender Sean Lay is live with a look at the new evidence that was presented in this case. Good evening, Sean.
Jason and Karen, good evening to you. Let's give the big picture here. This is a filing that came late today. Karen, you got your hands on it. We start going over it line by line. The details, the new evidence, absolutely jaw-dropping. Then at the bottom of the filing are those sketches prosecutors say are from Ethan Crumbley himself. Keep in mind, these are the same drawings prosecutors say that were presented to his parents and to school officials. Let's take a close look. For the very first time, we are seeing the drawings prosecutors say Ethan Crumbley made leading up to the Oxford school shooting. It is chilling. Drawn on a test are the words blood everywhere, a sketch of a handgun, someone shot, and a happy face crying with laughter. On the left are the words, "My life is useless." Another paper has the words, "The thoughts won't stop." The words, "I love my life so much," a drawing of a bullet. And when he was caught by a teacher, prosecutors say he scratched out another drawing of a gunshot victim near the words, "OHS rocks." This is key evidence filed late today by Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald in response to James and Jennifer Crumbley's attorneys, arguing that the Crumbley's bond should be reduced so they can get out of jail, arguing that the two had no idea their son was spiraling towards violence. The prosecutor arguing against a bond reduction, saying the two are more of a flight risk now with new evidence presented that they were $11,000 behind on their house payments and allegedly involved in extramarital affairs, paying no attention that Ethan Crumbley was allegedly showing signs of deep depression and a fixation with guns for 6 months leading up to the shooting. All right, back here live. This is all leading up to a bond hearing battle. That's going to happen on January 7th to review Ethan Crumbley held without bond right here at the Oakland County Jail, in the same jail his parents being held still on that $500,000 bond. And that will be reviewed by a judge on January 7th. Guys, we did ask the parents' attorney, Shannon Smith, to speak with us today. We have not yet heard back, but shocking details indeed. Back to you.
Also asked Karen McDonald to talk on camera. Did not want to do that at this time. We did post that court filing on our website, clickondetroit.com. Thank you so much, Sean. We're also getting our first chance to hear a 911 call alerting police to the whereabouts of James and Jennifer Crumbley after they failed to turn themselves in on manslaughter charges.
A man called the morning of December 4th saying he saw the Crumbleys in Detroit when he went to park his car at his office.
The parents of the shooter that are running away, they're here. And there was a Kia that looked like their car. And I walked around and checked the license plate, and it's their car, and the woman is here next to the car.
We're looking units in that area, thank you.
Okay, they're I can't believe it. They're here.
You can listen to that 911 call and view the new evidence submitted by the prosecutor today. It's all right now up on clickondetroit.com.
Well, we did see some snow today, a few flakes out there, but no accumulation.
Yeah, that was the key part for anybody who thought we'd love to go sledding and have a white Christmas and all that. But, well, Paul, with the latest forecast out there as we get closer to Christmas.
Yeah, we have a little bit of wintry weather left in the area. This is one last little batch that developed almost right over our heads this afternoon, late in the afternoon. It should be out of here in the next 90 minutes, but boy, I tell you, Storm Tracker 4 has been spot on with the delineation between snow ice and rain. I've been checking the airport observations, and we've had some freezing rain, well, freezing drizzle really, back and forth at the Pontiac Airport in Waterford. So you can see that magenta is starting to kind of shrink up a little bit. So we're seeing this transition to more snow and rain to the south. Metro Airport, Ann Arbor have both had reports of rain. Pontiac actually dropped a degree to 33. Notice still in the 20s in the thumb, but upper 30s down to the south, and we're going to see temperatures maybe slip a little bit, just a little bit of slippage this evening, but basically holding steady, and then we're going to be steady through the night, and then warmer air coming in tomorrow. Don't forget the Local Forecasters app has radar that's color-coded, just like what I just showed you here on TV. It's real-time radar, and it's all in our app, which is free. Just go to the App Store, search under WDIV. It's the best weather app in the nation, guys.
All right, Paul. A jury finds former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter guilty in the deadly shooting of Dante Wright. Potter was convicted today of first-degree and second-degree manslaughter. The verdict comes after 4 days and 27 hours of deliberations by the jury. Potter shot and killed Wright last April during a traffic stop. She pleaded not guilty, saying she mistook her gun for a taser and didn't mean to shoot Wright. After today's verdict, the mother of Dante Wright explained what she felt in the moment it came down.
Oh my gosh, the moment that we heard guilty on the manslaughter 1, emotions, every single emotion that you could imagine just running through your body at that moment. I kind of let out a yelp because it was built up in the anticipation of what was to come while we were waiting for the last few days. And now we've been able to process it.
Potter now faces a maximum of 15 years behind bars. Her sentencing is Friday, February 18th.
This morning, the FDA authorized use of a second antiviral pill for some people who've tested positive for COVID-19. It's made by Merck and will be tailored to adults with early symptoms who are at higher risk for hospitalization, such as older people and those with obesity or heart disease. In testing, the Merck pill reduced hospitalization and death by 30% compared to 90% for the Pfizer pill, which was authorized this week. The Merck pill also comes with more side effects, including a risk of birth defects, so it's not for use during pregnancy. For those reasons, experts are viewing the Merck pill as more of a second-choice treatment option. The spread of the Omicron COVID variant has universities making changes.
Several schools here in Michigan are requiring booster shots, and now more are planning to forego in-person classes to start the year.
Grant Herms is live at Wayne State with a decision that will affect a lot of students. Grant.
Karen, Jason, that decision was made in a surprise announcement today for students and staff, telling them that when they come back to class next semester, they will not be in person.
Wayne State going virtual starting immediately, the first of Metro Detroit universities to go virtual for the next semester. The announcement coming this afternoon. In a letter to students and staff, Wayne State President M. Roy Wilson saying all classes would be moved online and activities would be canceled until January 30th. Wilson writing, "At this time, we know that the Omicron variant is present in Michigan, that it is highly contagious, and that the number of cases in the Detroit area has already reached an alarming level." Just last week, Wayne State joined the University of Michigan and Michigan State in requiring booster shots for students next semester. At Oakland, Eastern Michigan, and Central Michigan, and Detroit Mercy, only a fully vaccinated status is required for the current academic year right now. All of those universities are requiring mask wearing while on campus as well. Pandemic rules still in full effect as students head into another holiday break without a break from COVID.
And it's not just universities. Detroit Public Schools also spent the last 3 Fridays of this month going virtual in hopes that they could curb the spread of the virus. Now, Dr. Nikolai Vitti said that when kids come back from break, they may have to go back to the drawing board if they didn't actually help curb those cases. They said they're also looking at vaccine mandates as well as some other options to help keep cases low, to keep kids in class. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Grant. We appreciate it.
Meantime, millions of Americans are gearing up to travel despite the surge of the new variant.
Let's take a live look at Detroit Metro Airport tonight on what is one of the busiest of the year. We're told things have run smoothly for most of the day. About 109 million Americans are set to travel over the holidays.
And all that travel is happening amid an outbreak of the Omicron variant, but there's some positive new research on that front.
Priya Mann live in the newsroom with a look at the national COVID picture just 2 days out from Christmas.
Hey Karen, hey Jason. Here's a sign of the times. New York City said today it will allow 15,000 people into Times Square for the New Year's Eve ball drop. Now that's compared to the usual crowd of 58,000. Despite concerns about Omicron, Americans are traveling for the holidays like the pandemic never even started. Omicron continues as the dominant COVID-19 variant nationwide. Johns Hopkins University reports the U.S. is averaging more than 164,000 new COVID cases a day. That's 36% higher than a week ago. Omicron accounting for 90% of the cases.
We can't ever think that we're ahead of it right now.
Even though new case numbers are surging, hospitalizations are steady.
Our hospitalizations have not been surging beyond what we might have expected at this time, but we also have to be realistic that the virus has a way of surprising us.
Now, millions of Americans are traveling during the holiday season at pre-pandemic levels. TSA says air travel Wednesday surpassed 2019 levels, with more travelers expected to take to the skies Thursday. Americans waiting in long lines trying to get tests before Christmas. President Joe Biden defending his administration's response to the new variant.
Empty shelves, no test kits. Is that a failure?
No, I don't think it's a failure. I think it's, you could argue that we should have known a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago.
There's also some encouraging news on the variant. Earlier studies suggested Omicron may be 50 to 70% less likely to cause severe illness or send you to the hospital compared to previous strains of the virus. Now, the Omicron outbreak is having vastly different effects on different parts of the world. The UK is reporting a record high 1.4 million new COVID cases over the span of just 1 week. But in Japan, cases have been dropping dramatically. They've gone from about 25,000 per day in August to around 200 per day now. And in South Africa, where Omicron was first identified, scientists are saying the peak of the outbreak has passed. Send it back to you.
All right, Priya, thanks. If you are staying home for the holidays, you can celebrate this. Celebrate how much your house is probably going up in value. Sales jumped 12.4% last month as a response to strong demand and low mortgage rates. November's increased seasonally adjusted sales pace rose to 744,000, the best since April. And while the housing industry continues to flourish, sales are still below last year's high. The median sales price of a new home sold in November was $416,900, 14.1% higher than a year ago.